nobody's above the law. I respect, the jury's decision in regards to my son. He didn't believe that, but he didn't have to volunteer that lie to begin with.
I'm going to stop you for a second.
Uh-oh.
Only because you don't know that it was a lie. We don't know why he changed his mind.
You really think he just changed his mind over Thanksgiving weekend all of a
No,
sudden?
I'm going to tell you what I think.
Okay.
Yeah. I think he changed his mind because he got sick of watching everybody else get over. And this is just my feeling, because at some point you get to the place where you just go, so I'm just going to follow the straight and narrow always, because that's what's expected of Democrats.
But that's their fault. They're the ones that go out there and they stand on this moral high ground. Listen, they don't have to do that.
I'm a Democrat. Tell me what the moral high ground is.
The moral high ground is nobody's above the law. I respect what the jurors are saying. He don't have to do that.
So we're mad at him because he changed his.
Oh, no. By the way, I'm not mad at him pardoning Hunter Biden.
But you sound like you're mad.
No.
Well, good damn afternoon, Americans. Jericho Green here with you once again. Make sure you hit the link, get some of my merch. Just designed some brand new stuff last week, so make sure you guys check that out. Also, like and subscribe to this channel. If you've been unsubscribed, make sure you double check on that. Like and subscribe to my new channel, Green's House. And also give me a follow on X at Green_Jericho. So you saw that little clip there. Sorry you had to suffer through those disgusting faces on The View. But Charlamagne the dog was on there. And I'm glad to see this ripple effect of Sloppy Joe pardoning his son, because, of course, nobody is shocked by him pardoning his son. But again, like I said in my last video, you lied. You lied. You got out there, and even Charlamagne the dog said that he didn't have to voluntarily lie like that. I said that he could have treated the American people, or treated the questions about him pardoning his son like he does the American people. Ignore them, like he does the Constitution. Ignore. Sorry, what about you pardoning your son? Blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to talk about it, no comment, or completely, or like he's done many times in the past, just turn around and wander off into the distance. Don't say anything. Sir, Mr. President. Remember that girl? Please, Mr. President, please answer my question. He just turned around and walked away like he didn't hear. Like he turned off his bell tone and he couldn't hear shit. He could always do that. He could always turn around and walk away. But one of these other clips that I'll show, he asked her, he says, why can't you admit when the Democrats are wrong? And they're wrong. Sloppy Joe is wrong for doing this, because again, he didn't have to lie. He could have just done it. And you'll hear these fools, just like you heard Whoopi say, oh, well, he changed his mind. He got sick of seeing people get over. So you're going to say you're going to do something, but because other people are doing something you think is wrong, you're going to do that thing too. Did you not have parents growing up, Whoopi? Did your parents never tell you, well, if so-and-so jumps off a bridge, are you going to jump off the bridge too? No one ever said that to you, Whoopi. Whoopi. Just because you see other people doing something wrong does not give you license to do the same thing. That's called lack of integrity. I thought he was the adult in the room. He's definitely the oldest person in the room. But is he the adult in the room that you told everybody was when he got 81 million votes in 2020? Anyway, that's a bullshit excuse, and you know it. And the things that he pardoned his son for go all the way back to what he got convicted on goes back to 2015, his taxes, and then 2018 with lying on the application to purchase a gun. But it goes back to 2014. Why is that? And also what's included in that that pardon is, you guys remember that video of Sloppy Joe being he's in front of some group of people and he's telling them the story about how he goes over to Ukraine, and he withheld the money because he wanted them to fire this prosecutor. Well, come to find out, he withheld the $1 billion until they fired the prosecutor, which they did 6 hours later, according to him. But also attached to that was, if you guys fire this prosecutor, there's also $40 billion for Ukraine, $40 billion from the international community. So just think of that $40 billion tidal wave cresting over Kiev into all those little accounts. You know how much $40 billion worth of slush fund slop is? They can all dive in there and get their mouths in that trough and their little corkscrew piggy tails, and they're just gorging themselves on $40 billion of international funds, because the 40 billion is going to go into Ukraine. And believe me, that 40 billion is coming out, but it's not coming out the same. It's coming out clean. Some people might call it laundered. But it's going to come out and it's going to go to these politicians in the form of campaign donations all around the world. You will get that 40 billion back. Of course, he's going to skim a little bit off the top for his coke habit. But other than that, I mean, how much coke can a man snort? You got $40 billion. Everybody's gorging themselves at that international trough. What else you got, you filthy hags?
Yeah, people have criticized him more. I've criticized him more. We've all criticized him more, but you're missing my question. Okay. My question is, what is it that makes people flip out with Joe, but we don't have the same kind of thing?
Well, I don't think people are flipping out with Joe. I think Democrats are flipping out with Joe because Democrats believe that they don't represent what he's currently representing. But that's just not true. That's why I say they stand on this moral high ground that simply does not exist. And I think this is also the problem when we pick sides, right? We've turned political parties into teams. I'm a Dallas Cowboys fan. Ain't nobody more delusional than me, right? Okay? I feel like we're going to the Super Bowl every year, but I'm not delusional. Well, no, that is delusional. But when it comes, but when it comes to political parties, if you pick a side, right, if you say you're a Democrat, if you say you're a Republican, you refuse to be objective about anything.
I'm an independent.
Yes, but
I think that's the best way to go.
But that's not a monolith. We're not, Democrats are not a monolith.
But why can't you say when Democrats are wrong? And why can't Republicans say when Republicans are wrong?
I'll tell you when Democrats are
wrong. So you don't think Joe Biden is wrong?
No, I don't. And can I just point this out to you? The president has a pardon power, right?
He said, well, that's ridiculous. You're ridiculous. You don't think Sloppy Joe is wrong for lying? He lied. He said he wasn't going to do something repeatedly, and then he did it. And according to Whoopi Goldberg and the shaved sides of her head, well, because he saw everybody else getting over, so he wanted to get over too. He saw everybody else stealing, so he wanted to steal too. That sounds stupid. But there's no one more stupid than Sonny Hostin. Take it away, dummy.
Reframe it in this way. Think about it maybe in this way. The president has the ultimate pardon power. Every president has done this, right? Yeah. And so people are saying is that Joe Biden is now a liar, as opposed to Joe Biden is someone who now knows that the person that is going to be in the White House is on a revenge tour and his son is on an enemies list. And so he is using his rightful power, his rightful political power, to pardon his son. Now, is that a lie, or is that perhaps being pragmatic, having a change of opinion, as opposed to the president-elect who has lied almost 40,000 times during his first term?
Well, I can't say what it is because I'm not in
the moral high ground. Like, what's the faux outrage?
Neither one of them have the moral high ground. That's what I'm trying to get everybody to understand. But when you are a diehard Democrat or a diehard Republican, you refuse to be objective about the other party. Like, it's like we're watching them do something wrong, but we're making excuses for it. We watch Republicans do things wrong, and they make excuses for it. Why can't we just all be objective and call it what it is?
So is that just somebody being pragmatic and changing their mind? No. That's a fucking lie, and you know it. You tell them all the time. A liar knows a good lie when they hear one. Is it just somebody changing their mind? You don't change your mind. The dude asked him when they were in Normandy last year, he said, have you, what did he say? Have you taken that off the table? He's like, oh yes, that we're not going to do that. I'm going to respect the jury. I'm going to respect the decision that they make, and that's that. We're not even we're not even considering that. That's a dead issue. But hey, I got a change of heart. I'm a resident of 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. I've been going around for a fucking year saying that I'm not going to do this, but yeah, I'm going to do it. And he was facing 25 years for the lying on the gun application, but it was his first offense, at least the first thing he's been caught for. So he wouldn't have gotten any time at all. On the tax shit, probably wouldn't have gotten any time. He'd have to pay the back tax. But who gives a fuck about that? It's not even their money. We would pay the back tax. So what's the big issue about pardoning him for those two bullshit cases? It's not about that. It's about the shit in Ukraine. It's about his son working for Burisma. It's about that prosecutor who they wanted to get fired, potentially investigating Burisma and all the bullshit money they were giving Sloppy Joe's crackhead son to smoke crack. $55,000 a month to smoke crack. That's what that shit is about. What went on in Ukraine, that's what that blanket pardon is about. It's going to cover his dumb ass too. It's going to cover Sloppy Joe too. That's why he did it. He had to. They said, Sloppy Joe, you want to spend time? And Trump's on a revenge tour. Shut your stupid ass mouth. He's not after revenge. He's after fixing this damn country that you guys were so kind to fuck up. Revenge tour. And his son's on an enemies list. Shut up, woman. You so stupid. You know one good thing if Trump were a dictator? The first thing dictators do is crush dissent in the media. And you'd be the first one to go. You guys can take your powdered eggs and get the hell out of here. The View. He's a dictator. The first thing they do is get rid of dissent in the media. You would have been gone. You would have been in the UK with Ellen and the bottom half of her face glistening all the time from diving. You'd be over there with Ellen in the UK helping her save her house from washing down the river. If only he were a dictator. Tell me what you think. Charlamagne the dog, Whoopi Goldberg going at it. Two bitches fighting. Meet me in the comments, people. You know how it goes. Try to be done with the left, but they just won't let me. I'm out.